Hello, it's time once again for the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament. This is another part of one of the more exciting legs for me because there's a lot of parts to it, and it's going to come to a culminating like large game with some fun rules. In the Shadow of the Emperor is going to be this part. This, along with the Middle Earth quest game, which has already been done, is going to feed into Return of the Heroes, combined with Under the Shadow of the Dragon and Helden in der Unterwelt, with some added rules that kind of carry over how people did in this game and the other one into that game. And there will be some different goals involved. I don't want to go into that now because we're focusing on this game. This is one of the few games of European descent in the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament, mostly because games of that lineage don't seem to be the best solo games. I've enjoyed this one solo in the past, however, not sure how well it will videotape. You know, a game can be fun to play, but not as fun to watch. You know, however fun you might think games are to watch. But this one's got some flavor, unlike a lot of games of its lineage, and so maybe it will be more exciting for you. So before we go into character draws, I wanted to say there's been some concern with some of my other videos, because I do use the Real People cards for other videos, that cards featured in those videos are out of the deck. Now, that is not the case. So cards from other videos can come up again, which I would be really excited, actually, because I like to see characters come back. So, for example, I just did an Origins How We Became Human instructional series, and did I use cards for that? No, I didn't. I used it for a different game. Anyway, some game. However, I have been using the Real People cards other places. I have a little to-go game box, and they've been in there, so there may be some cards scattered somewhere else. I also used it as part of my Halloween costume, and there was a child who kept taking them. So there might be some people out of the running because of that. So I apologize if you've seen a favorite or someone who looked interesting in one of my past shufflings. It may be that that card will never get a chance to be in the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament, or most especially this game. So let's do our character draw right now, see who we have. Ooh, okay, she's got large earrings. And her name is Weeder, and she's a nanny for a 4th grade terror. It was a 2nd grade terror who was taking the cards. Her secret fantasy is to be a dangerous secret agent. I think she is going to be a great character for games. An unusual fact is she showers 3 times a day. Her pet peeve is dirty fingernails. She'd like to meet Malcolm X if he was alive. She's not a necrophile. Her personal motto is keep smiling. She's not smiling here. She's most proud of her ability to spend money. Her reputation in high school is very popular. And 3 words that describe Weeder are independent, outrageous, and dangerous. I think she is going to be a great character. So far, I hope she wins. Or I hope she's Emperor the most. She seems like she'd be a great candidate for the Dragon Shadow. You see what I did with the... So, the shadow of the Emperor is going to be under the shadow of the dragon. Alright, so next card. There's going to be 4 players in this game. Another woman. I point that out because I've had games in the past that it seems like there's more men than women in this. I guess I could say another person with, well, she has earrings. I could say that instead. I don't know why I made that distinction. Her childhood nickname is Half Pint, so we call her Half Pint. That's how I get their names, by the way. It says childhood nickname. That's the only name on there, so that's what I use as their identifier. She's a law student. Her secret fantasy is to sing at Carnegie Hall. An unusual fact about Half Pint is Baytown, Texas Monopoly champ. We have a board gamer in this game. This board game we're going to play. That's great. Okay, this is, oh, I'm getting chills. This is getting really exciting. Her pet peeve is pretentious people. She'd like to meet Alan Greenspan. Her personal motto is shop till you drop. She's most proud of holding the most boys kissed record in elementary school. I know how she got him. She's like, "Hey boys, want to play some Monopoly?" And then, as they were landing on free parking, she planted him one. Her reputation in high school is always into everything. 3 words that describe her are she is one loud Texan. All right, so we've got some good personalities. We have some good gamers, I think. I think she probably has the advantage in this sort of game, though she could maybe, I don't know, I feel like she would put some people off and so have a hard time getting votes to go her way, but maybe she can she can talk people into voting for her. She seems more conniving, more the conniving sort, where the other one is maybe more maybe can do more calculating, which is unfortunate for her. I don't calculate very well in games, and especially if I'm trying to play for 4 different people, because that divides your brain power, and I don't spend all my time doing this. Otherwise I could take really long turns and be able to think really long and hard and make really great moves. But that's not the case. The Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament is not an example of stellar gameplay. But one thing we do is draw character cards. So let's do that one. It's our 3rd one here. Oh my gosh! Okay, this is Fries. He was in my very first Real People game, which was not part of the multi-game solitaire mega tournament, Shogun. It was just a separate thing. It was kind of the precursor to the Real People multi-game solitaire mega tournament. Fries was a great character, and I really enjoyed playing with him. And I kind of, I always hoped that one of those Shogun players would come back. Kind of, seems like just yesterday, but it was maybe 5 months ago. But it's like having an old friend come back to town, and it's surprising you. And it's an old friend you enjoy. So it's really great for me. I'll for those of you who don't know Fries, I'll give you a quick intro. If you're interested in knowing more, go ahead and watch the Shogun video. It's the Queen Game Shogun. I think there's an older Shogun, so it's the one that's based on Wallen something. Alright, so Fries is a pizza cook. His secret fantasy is to be a baseball player. He likes doll houses. He does not like styrofoam. He'd like to meet Shoeless Joe Jackson. I used to be nicknamed that, Shoeless Joe. His personal motto is "Me Awesome." He's most proud of his baseball cards. His reputation in high school is burnout. 3 words that describe him are stylish, funny, arrogant. Fries didn't have the best showing in Shogun, but I'm really excited just with the characters we have. I think that's going to help this game be something special. And gosh, I hope all 3 of these guys so far advance. One person's going to be eliminated. The other 3 are going to advance, and the better they do in this game, the better chances they are going to have in winning the next game. Hypothetically speaking. When you toy with rules, you don't always know how it's going to turn out. Alright, unless you play test. Oh, I drew 2. Sorry, you 2 are not going to be picked, I don't think. Okay, so this is Tice. She's in computer sales. Her secret fantasy is to win the US Open. An unusual fact is she's 33 and still not married. Pet peeve is no toilet paper. She'd like to meet Chris Evert. Personal motto is "Let the games begin." Woo! Most proud of losing 55 pounds. A reputation in high school is inquisitive. And 3 words that describe her are loyal, witty, and manipulative. Maybe she will get votes. All right. Well, like I've said, and I think I've successfully conveyed this to you, that I am very excited to be playing with these 4 individuals here. Yeah, even Tice, I know I didn't have the same reaction. I think, after seeing Fries, kind of my enthusiasm got spent, so to speak. But let's go up and get started. Small footprint game, quick to set up. We should be starting momentarily.
Alright, so here we have our players with their colors. Fries, of course, had to be red, and I think you'll agree that everyone got the most suitable colors possible. They have to decide who's going to go first. There was no real way that they could agree on one person going first. We have some strong heads here, and there is a certain advantage to being emperor. And the first player is the emperor. So we're going to roll. I have a 4-sided die here called in gaming circles a D4. And we're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to roll, and then I'm just going to roll enough times to get everyone kind of figured out. So we'll roll. Let's see who goes first. Looks like 1. So Tice is going to be our first empress. I guess empress in this case. We're going to roll to see who gets the second player spot, which is also a nice spot. And Tice cannot be first and second. She has to take turns. Tice, I think this is a weighted die. I apologize. All right, number 2 is second. All right, and her name is Weathers? Weeder, yeah. All right, we'll see who gets to be third. And it's Weeder. All right, so we just went 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Fries will be our final player. The players have placed their initial aristocrats and whatnot and knights. Can see where the points of contention are. Fries has got a Trier and a cakewalk, looks like, which isn't bad. That's pretty nice. And then oddly on the flip side, Kingdom of Bohemia is in contention between Weeder and Fries. Not sure why. Well, it's the process, right? It's the process of the people making choices that is why. But it's not something I would probably choose. The only person who's openly contending with the emperor, at least in terms of grabbing an electorship, is Half Pint over in the County Palatinate of Rhine. Everyone else has kind of shied away from her areas, except for, I guess, Fries did put a knight in Cologne, but that's more because there was a tower open there. And Fries really likes towers. He's a tower unto himself. Okay, we got our first turn around during the action phase. Tice played a aristocrat up there contending with contending for Trier against Fries. Both Weeder and Half Pint both played cities in the Saxony Duchy. That's going to be a hotly contended area for this duchy that provides money. And Fries put a knight in Trier as perhaps a response, a very inexpensive response to Tice's move. So I just realized I should probably give a quick overview of the game for those of you who follow the multi-game solitaire mega tournament but don't know how to play. I do a fuller explanation video elsewhere. So basically the main thing that people are trying to do is trying to take control of electorates. Okay, there's these 7 electorates here. There's a phase where whoever has the most towers gets to take control. That's how you score, the main way you score points. You get 2 victory points for doing that, which is nice. But you only get the victory points for taking it. You don't get it for holding it. So you want to cycle your guys out so that you can retake it later, and that's how you get points. There's also an election. There's these action cards that people are taking. That's what determines what they do. Different cards have different powers. Whoever takes this card ends their action phase, and then they're going to be the rival for the emperor. Everyone then votes during a different phase, an election phase, and then that person gets to be a new emperor. This game is going to be weighted differently than other games, because if you are the emperor the most, and I'm going to keep track of emperorships. Tice already starts with 1 just for getting in a lucky die roll. You're guaranteed to advance. So there's an added advantage to being emperor. Emperors break ties. So that's their other kind of main power, and then they get certain benefits at the end during a particular phase. I don't know if it's exactly at the end. Yeah. Another time around, and people's motives are becoming more clear. So the Emperor Tice, she just put a city in Trier, and that exhausted her funds for the round. So I don't think she's going to do anything else. And neither does Wieder. So Wieder just bought a vote, basically from the Pope, I think. So who knows what she's going to do with that. But she's also strongly contending for Bohemia. However, she's running out of money for this turn. Half Pint spent nothing and used her ability as the Marquisate of Brandenburg to take the Brandenburg card. And Fries put down another knight. I have to tell you, I don't know why I put that there. Fries really likes knights. Gone around again, and we just had a poisoning. The Emperor was poisoned by the Elector of Köln, and so was dead, taken off the board. Now Tice had to choose where she was going to pull from. Now she had Trier, Brandenburg, and Palatinate of the Rhine and Köln to choose from. So 4 different electorates. Could pretty much take any of them with how things stand because she wins ties. However, Palatine of Rhine, she's contending with Half Pint. Half Pint has this Brandenburg card, which can give her another vote and break the tie. Tice is unable to do anything else to help her chances of edging above, and so she went with that one. Brandenburg, it's a lock. Trier, she has a tie, so she can win that one. Köln, it's a lock. So that was her choice. Half Pint on her turn, what did she do? Oh, she put down a knight, didn't she? Yeah, she put down a knight in Saxony. I think she's figuring that since Wieder seems to be contending for the emperorship, or else doing a lot of work to, she knocked off the emperor and also bought off the pope. So I think she thinks she has a good chance of winning ties against Wieder. Fries on his turn, he placed a single young man in Mainz, which brings him up to the lead in that for that electorate right now, which is a nice electorate because you get the 2 for taking it, and then its power as it gives you an additional 1. Very nice for Fries. Around again we went. Wieder got another voting card. This one cancels out someone's ability to vote. One of the electorates will not get to vote. So that's going to deprive someone of 1 or 2 votes. For those of you who don't know, he gets votes based on electorates, basically. Each electorate that you own, because you're an electorate, or it's an electorate, you get 1 vote for the emperor. And when the vote comes, each person's going to either vote for the rival or the emperor. Half Pint placed a knight in Mainz. Kind of took a little risk there. Fries followed that up by using his County Palatine of the Rhine to just push that knight out. Mainz is a nice electorate, and so that's what happened. After Wieder used her final coin, her final Thaler, to place a knight in Saxony, sealing it up for herself. Half Pint took the rival card, so she's the one who's contending for the emperor, despite not having any special vote cards. Has a good shot of it, just given how things are set up. People tend to vote for the rival anyway. I'm thinking they will more so this time. Fries continued pushing knights around. He moved his single fellow from Trier over to Kingdom of Bohemia and pushed off Wider's knight there. Fries likes knights, but he also likes control, and I think he sealed up Bohemia for himself. No one else can do anything else, so we're going to go ahead and get new electors. Alright, so you can see how things turned out in terms of electors. Tice, not surprisingly, made out the best with 3 new electorates. Fries did pretty well. He got 2, and everyone else got 1. So, victory points wise, that's actually our ranking. Tice is first place, then Fries, then the other 2 are tied. It was time for emperor elections, and really it came down to a coin flip. Wieder was very, very close voting against Half Pint. Just out of pure spite, pure wrath, pure anger for Half Pint stealing the emperorship from her grasp, in her mind. However, we have a clear leader here. It's easier to score points when you're the emperor, and also, how we have, I'm not going to talk about how we have it set up again, makes it even better to be the emperor again and again. So, I flipped a coin really to kind of go with, one side was self-interest and the other side was, the emotional payoff for being able to slight someone. So, it did go for Half Pint. She is our new emperor. She gets this little marker and she's going to get some points as a result. Which really, that puts her in last place, so that's even worse for her. Poor Weeder. She had a shot, but she was just too obvious with what she was going to do. And that'll about do it for this session of the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament. Let's take a look at our score before we go. We have one emperorship here, one emperorship there. Score-wise, Tice is in the lead. Half Pint and Fries are tied for 5. Fries got the most non-emperor electorates, and he also got mains, so that's where he got his points. He got 2 electorates and mains. Half Pint, she got the 2 for being emperor at the end of the turn, 1 electorate, and then 1 for a city. Weeder, she just got 1 electorate and 1 city. However, she could get, she looks like she's coming up on Bohemia, unless Fries holds on to it. Fries has a history of holding on to things, which is not good for this game because you want to be able to let things go. Perhaps since that's been made clear, he won't do that as much as he did in Shogun. Tice, took 3 electorates, built a city, has 7 points. I'm enjoying this. I would like to know more about the person who made this game. What influences influenced this game? I think that would be interesting to know.